What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. I think this is the 5th year now, so 16 would be this year, 15, 14, 13, 12. So I think this is the 5th annual Bios3 Olympia picks. Now, if you go back and look through the other years of my Olympia picks, they were pretty fucking dead on. I mean, let's face facts. They were pretty close no matter who thought what. And you're like, oh, Jerry, you're stupid. Jerry, you don't know shit. I mean, they were pretty goddamn close. They were closer than what your other guys were saying out there about Big Ramy was going to mop the floor with everybody. I think, you know, he wasn't even top 3. I mean, shit like that. Not that there's anything wrong with Big Ramy, and it's not that I don't feel like he could be a Mr. Olympia, just not his time then when you guys were saying it. Now, I got the list in front of me who's qualified, and I'm going to run through the Mr. Olympia, the 212, and the Classic Physique. As far as fitness, figure, bikini, I don't follow any of this, so I don't even know who the fuck any of those girls are, so it'd be impossible to call you know, any of that. So let me start off by saying all of these things, the 212, the Classic, and Mr. Olympia. It depends on who nails everything that day, what they bring to the stage, and all the pictures now that you see, all the pictures the last 5 weeks, none of that shit matters at prejudging, okay? Bottom line is, prejudging is not 2 weeks out in a tank top in the gym. Prejudging is not, you know, under this certain lighting that, you know, Photoshop and all this bullshit. Prejudging is prejudging, and that's when it gets fucking real. So that being said, basically, anyone has a chance at winning if everyone else is off enough. Bottom line, okay? So let's start out with the qualified guys right now. Phil Heath, Dexter Jackson, Sean Roden, Mohamed El Sabi, I think that's Big Ramy, William Bonayak, Lucas Dasali, some of these names I don't fucking know, Josh Lernakowitz, Cedric McMillan, Rolly Winkler, Steve Kuklo, Nathan Diasha, Dallas McCarver, Ben Pukowski, Victor Martinez, Akam Williams, Justin Compton, and Kevin Levrone to round it up. Now, here's who I do not see in the top. Okay, this is who is not going to place in the top 4 or 5. Compton, Akam, Victor. Okay, hang on. Let's think about this for a second. Victor might, Akam. That guy Akam looks pretty goddamn good. Dallas McCarver's looking pretty good. But again, you don't know how they're going to look like on the day of the show. They could fucking completely miss it, fuck up their diuretics, overload insulin, whatever their last minute shit is. Kuklos, Ruli. Okay, well, I'm just going to go with who I think is going to be in the top 4. Okay, because from there down, I mean, they're interchangeable almost, depending on who nails it. You know, like, you know, you could fucking interchange Ruli with Justin Compton, possibly. I mean, who knows? This Akam guy looks tremendous, too. In the Baltimore Pro, he looked phenomenal. I thought he should have beat Victor Martinez, but whatever. So the top 4 I see: Phil Heath, Dexter Jackson, Sean Roden, and Kevin Levrone. I know some people, they're still like, ah, fuck, Kevin, he's not going to do shit. Trust me, guys. Kevin there's all these guys that are on here already. Kevin has either already beat or, you know, is going to be able to beat all these guys. Hands down. Because if Phil Heath, Dexter, and Sean Roden are beating these guys, and they have been, Levrone has the same type of physique. That is what the judges are liking right now. So the whole mass monster fucking thing, they don't like it. They've made it very clear by who they're picking for their top the last few years. They don't want the big mass monsters anymore. They're not looking for the biggest guy who has the fucking strangest looking body parts and looks like they're fucking ready to pop on stage. They're not looking for that. They've made it very clear. The fact that Phil Heath and Dexter were the 2 last year that were about the same weight in the upper 230s and lower 240s, those guys are who 1 and 2, and Dexter won the fucking Arnolds again this year. Like, they're making it clear. They're making a statement. The judges are letting people know this is the type of physique that we're rewarding, that we like. Everybody else is going to fall in line afterwards, but this is what they like. And Kevin has that type of physique. Now, I think out of all these guys, Kevin is the wild card. He's the one with nothing to lose and everything to gain. And he's rolling into this as the biggest wild card, because if he doesn't do well, they're going to say, hey, you know what, he tried, he's 57 years old, whatever. If he does do well, they're going to say, that's amazing. Like, he can't lose no matter what he does. As long as he brings in a physique that looks as close as possible to what it did 12, 15 years ago, Kevin wins. You know, not wins the Olympia, but he wins as far as, you know, what people are expecting from him. So I don't think actually Kevin's walking into this expecting to just mow down everybody and become Mr. Olympia. You know, I think that he's coming in there to place better than he said he did last time, which I believe last time he was 6th or 7th place. So if Kevin places 5th, he will accomplish his goal of placing better than he placed last time in the Olympia. And he said he's, you know, I'm training to win. Everybody trains to win. All these guys are training to win. But Kevin himself flat out said, I want to place better than I did last time. Now, Sean Roden, for what I'm hearing, haven't seen the pictures, looks fucking insane. They're saying he is so much better than he's ever been tightness-wise, but he is in the 260s right now. So Sean, despite being bigger than these guys, has shape that is a little bit, I'd say, more symmetrical than these guys in certain areas. Now, I believe he lacks the back separation, back development in certain areas that is very genetic. I don't think that all of a sudden he's going to, build his back in places that Phil Heath has places, and all of a sudden he's going to be able to beat Phil. I don't think that's a possibility. I think that he'll get bigger and better, but he's still going to be missing that genetic component that is going to keep him out of the top two. I think the top two guys right now, as everything goes in there, that they're the front runners. The top two are Phil and Dexter. And Dexter pushed him last year, and I said last year Dexter was going to push Phil, and everybody told me I was fucking nuts, and it was going to be Big Ramy. Big Ramy was going to be... Look, I love Big Ramy as much as the next guy. I really do. He's a fucking super nice guy. He's got a smile on his face. He's just happy to be involved in bodybuilding. He's just a happy guy. He's a great ambassador for the sport, I feel. I mean, he'd be perfect as a Mr. Olympia. However, that's not the type of physique that they're looking for. So, Phil, I've actually talked to Phil. I talked to him the other night. He flat out told me he's not looking to just be the best that he can be. That's not what he's trying to do this year. What he's trying to do this year is actually shock people. He wants people to go, holy shit, and make it without a doubt that he is Mr. Olympia. That is Phil's goal this year. Dexter's bigger than he's been in the past. He's sharp, of course, year-round. Dexter also competed a few times this year in the Arnolds, winning. He is now the only one to win all of the Arnolds around the world at least once. Now, the thing with Dexter is he's very big a couple weeks out. Like last year we saw him was 250, and I was like, wow, Dexter's really got some size on him. He came back down to 235 or so for the Olympia stage. He sucked down again. Once they pulled out water, he came down again, and he did push Phil, but again, there's certain spots that Phil has on his physique that the judges like and they're rewarding. And if someone doesn't have those spots and Phil has improved himself to where people, in the shadow of a doubt, that, he should be Mr. Olympia, then it's going to be very hard for anybody to knock Phil off. You have to literally knock him out. You cannot just be as good as Phil. You're going to have to be better than Phil to be able to beat him. And as far as what he's planning on bringing now and what he's described that he's doing, and from the pictures that I've seen, the little bit that I've seen, Phil is on point to take the Olympia again. Now, could he lose the Olympia? If he was far enough off, if something drastically went wrong in his prep and he was off and Dexter was on and Sean was on and Kevin was on, could any of them beat him? Anybody could be interchanged with anybody if someone's off enough. But Phil Heath at 90% I don't believe would be enough to get knocked off the top like that. However, we haven't seen a full 100% Kevin Levrone yet. And I keep coming down to these two because Kevin's the wild card that compares the most like Phil's physique side by side. They're not identical, but they're the most comparable between the symmetry, the size, all that type of stuff. The body parts are so similar that I feel like if someone is going to compare with Phil, it's going to be Kevin. The 212. Jose Raymond, Flex Lewis, Hidetada, Dave Henry, Eduardo Correa, Charles Dixon, Guy Sisternino, Samuel Haddad. I love Sammy. He's amazing. He's a great guy. Alex Combrero, Mark Dugdale, Wojciech Koratinsky, Dubre Delev, Ahmed Askani, and Babak Akbarnia. I'm probably destroying these names. Flex Lewis. I see Flex Lewis going for the I think it's a 4-peat this time. I could see Jose or David Henry in second. Whoever doesn't play second is going to place third. After that, I could see possibly Hidetada in fourth. And from there, I would go with probably... I would like to see Mark Dugdale and Samuel Haddad rounding out the top 6. I would like to see that. Again, we'll have to see who comes in what kind of shape. I haven't been following these guys very much. I've seen Jose go from being very big and not even training at all to his face getting all, that sucked out look and stuff. I saw some pictures of Flex Lewis last week. The guy just looks unstoppable. He just gets better and better and better, and he still keeps that beautiful shape no matter how big he gets. And it's something that, it's genetic. So it's like these guys can take more drugs if they want. They're going to look like a fucking bowling ball compared to him because he has that fucking beautiful shape, the tiny waist, the flaring quads, the big calves. He has pretty much, in my opinion, all the attributes that it takes to be the 212 Mr. Olympia. And I don't see anybody knocking him off, maybe coming close in certain poses, but I don't see anybody knocking him off. The classic physique Olympia. Now, this is the first time they've had this. There's no height classes and weight classes. There's just, some of these guys are going to be very short compared to some of the other guys. Danny Hester, Daram Charles, Stan McQuay, Aratash Rabar, Chavez Higa, Omar Batista, Artie Caldwell, Matt Pattison, Breon Ansley, Terrence Ruffin, Robert Timms, and Sadiq Hadzovic. I'm not sure if I'm butchering that. I probably am. Now, all these guys I don't know, I'll be totally honest with you, but the ones I do know, Danny Hester, Daram, Stan, Sadiq, those are the ones that I do know. And out of the ones that I do know, I can see, honestly, the way that Sadiq looks, I really feel like that is the direction that the division should go. And I feel like he's got a certain amount of size, but an athletic build. You know, I love Stan McQuay's physique. I mean, him and Danny Hester have amazing physique. So does Daram Charles. But they are very reminiscent of bodybuilders. They still have a very kind of thick physiques that, you know, maybe that's a look they're going to go for, maybe not. I feel like that Sadiq doesn't have the thickness to his physique like a bodybuilder, but he is very shapely and still big. So it's very much more so like an Arnold type classic. I feel like the other guys are like, if you had classic physique and bodybuilding, there's another division like in between, which is almost like a lightweight bodybuilding. Like I guess you consider it the 212, but like a light heavyweight, you know, kind of division that's even in between those. That's a more bodybuilder, kind of thick, less athletic looking. Like when you see Sadiq move around and stuff, he's very loose, he's very athletic. I feel like that, you know, actually Danny Hester kind of has that physique too, but Stan McQuay's still very thick in the legs, very hard and dense. Daram Charles, of course, has some strange looks to some of his muscles. I feel like there could be some oil that's been used in the past or still used in there that I feel like it just is still just too much more bodybuilding and not classic physique-wise. So I'm going to look at Sadiq to take it. I would look at Danny Hester and Stan McQuay second and third, either one of those interchangeable. And then maybe fourth, I'd say, I do know that guy Chavez Hig. I've seen him before, maybe Chavez. But the other guys I can't really comment on because I don't know. All of them, one of them could beat them too. But the ones that I do know, that's what I see. So we'll be on a plane a week from tomorrow, headed out to the Olympia. And, you know, again, guys, this is not, you know, this is just my opinion. And I spent a lot of time in the last 25 years going to shows, looking at how the judges call things, looking at what they're looking for, trying to be objective and not really put my emotions or what I think into it or who I think it should be, and break it down to what, you know, the judges will be looking for based on what they've looked for in the past and what they're saying they're looking for and what they like. And you can see that pattern. You know, you can kind of tell what they're doing. And this is picks based on that. And, you know, year to year, I've been very close with the picks. Maybe a couple here and there I got wrong. But, you know, based on my past track record, they've been pretty good. So we'll see where they end up, guys. And by all means, comment down below. I know everybody's going to tell me right now, Big Rami's going to win. Fucking Justin Compton's going to win. Anybody but the people I picked supposedly are going to win. And when all the dust settles, usually my top five are fucking exact. So biostraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. It's a 2016 Olympia lineup, and we're out.